it's cheap homesteading here. I have an MS260 Stihl chainsaw. A friend of mine just dropped it off, and he wanted a little bit of a tune-up and a look over. And the first thing I did notice was that the chain seemed to be clunky when you rolled it over by hand. So I flipped the saw over, and it looks like it's the wrong size chain on the sprocket. We're going to go over making sure you pick the right chain to put on your chainsaw. When you roll a chain over, I think you can hear it. It's like and it hits a real hard spot. So it's not supposed to do that. It'll always make a little bit of a sound, but it's a little excessive. So we are going to flip the saw around. We're going to remove the bar cover. Well, I have the cover off, and you look at the chain sits nicely here, and about here it starts riding out on the sprocket. There's a gap. Now there's two reasons for this. One is possibly that this chain has wore enough in these pins that these two pieces have got farther apart. So it starts coming in, but then it gets farther, and it rides itself out. So it's either the chain's wore out, or it's the wrong chain for this sprocket. So we're going to pull the rest off and see what happens. Okay, so now I'm going to loosen off the chain just a little bit so that it comes off the sprocket easier. And we're going to set this down here. The chain actually seems relatively new. Feels good, so I really doubt that it is wore out. So I'm going to set it over here. To get this sprocket off, you have to put the screwdriver in and hold the other end of the clip. Okay, I'm trying to show you how to get this off, so it's a little more awkward. You put your screwdriver in here, and you got to put your hand over it so you don't lose your clip. But there you go. You've got your clip. And I just dropped it. Oh, there you go. Okay, here you go. So here's your clip. Put that in a safe spot. Now you take the washer, and then here's your sprocket. 325 7-tooth sprocket. That is definitely a 3/8 chain. So I went out and got a Stihl 3/8 7-tooth. Okay, now, so that should fit on there nicely. We put our little washer on, and we put our clip on. And without poking yourself, you clip it on. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of air. We're going to blow this out. Okay, so now we're going to get the chain and make sure the teeth are pointing forward on the top, and we slide it on into the sprocket holes, and the chain itself will hang like that. Get our bar, we put our bar on, and we grab our chain and we put it around the end of the bar. Okay, now we fish it into the bar. We do the other side. So there, it's on. So now it'll kind of sit like that. Now we get your chain cover. So now you just by hand touch it till it just snugs up. So now we're going to adjust this. So what you want, you don't want crazy amounts of tension, but you want it to sit there, have a bit there. Much better. That sounds normal. So here you can see the line. You can see that the oiler in the chain is working. It's flailing the oil off the end of the bar and making a line. So you know it's working. Have a good one.